Good morning. How are you? It's lovely and sunny down here in San Diego. I am Andrea Kuchin. This is My Home Biz Tips, where we inspire, empower, and support home-based business owners so that they can find, create, and scale the business of their dreams without sacrificing their family or their sanity. I'm alone here today. I don't have a guest because I have been asked so many questions recently about generating residual income that I thought I'd devote a show completely to that because there are so many different aspects of it to look at. So, first of all, let me explain what I mean by residual income, because it's a term that I'm now really familiar with, and I think everybody else knows what it means, but maybe you don't. It means, the word residual actually means leftover. Residual income is income that is in addition, over the top, on top of, additional to your normal regular income. So say, for example, that you are an expert in styling. Okay, you're an expert stylist, and you have a business, you have clients that you do styling for, you have your appointments, you have your clients, you have your regular income. But say you wrote a book about styling, and that book then went on Amazon and it sat there and people bought it, and you get regular money coming in. That is residual. It's not part of your normal everyday income. So it's not calculated against hours of effort that you're putting in. It's something you did once. You wrote a book, and it then consistently brings in income. And over time, that income can be significant, right? That's just one example. Now, authors, actors, musicians, artists, well, not so much artists. I meant musical artists or, anyway, those kind of creative people, actors, voiceover artists, have been earning money that way since the beginning of time, because they do their job once and then their thing that they create goes out and gets sold. So they don't necessarily get paid for doing the work they're doing on a daily basis. It all comes in later on. But if that movie or that record becomes a multi-million-dollar selling hit, then they'll make more money than they would. They didn't get paid to be on set between 6 a.m. and 9 p.m. or whatever it is. They get paid based on how much product is sold later on. Okay. So that then becomes residual, and it can go on for years. Copyrights on books and items like that, music, they can last for years, and it means that a royalty is paid. Photographers, you'll find that there are lots of platforms out there where you can pick up photos and you pay a royalty, and that gets paid to the photographer. They did it once, they keep collecting on it continuously. Now, in our businesses, working from home, whatever businesses they are, we have two ways of generating income. One of them is what I call doing your job business or your business job. And the other one is being an entrepreneur, which is doing residual income. Now, the difference between those two is how the money comes in. When you're doing your job, your business job, you are exchanging your time, usually, whether it's an hourly rate for something you're creating, like working as a VA, or being a yoga instructor online, or coaching in some way. That is, or, designing a website for somebody, or I'm just thinking of the kind of people that I'm working with, or people who paint art, which once it's sold is sold. Those kind of people, bookkeepers, legal people, whether they're working online at home or whether they're going to a job, the exchange that they get, the money that comes in, is based on them being there and doing something. which is great, but it's limited because there's only one of you and there's only 24 hours in the day, right? And you can't work all of those. So you are limited. The only thing you can do is increase your hourly rate, but that's market driven. So I can't say that as a coach, I want to earn $10,000 an hour because no one's going to pay me that, right? So there's a limit to how much money I'll ever be able to earn as a coach. And my VA is limited to how many hours she can earn as a VA, and so on and so forth, right? So that's your job business. And then your entrepreneurial business is your residual business. So what I'm doing for myself and what I'm now teaching my VA to do, and I'm teaching my clients to do, is find something that will multiply your ability to produce, right? So instead of being restricted to my 2 hands and my 24 hours, only 7 times a week, I actually use other people's hands and other people's hours. So for example, by hiring a VA, I can arguably get twice as much work done because I'm doing mine and then I'm delegating to her. Now, at some point, she's going to be managing and delegating to other people because there'll be too much for her to handle on her own. And then maybe that'll happen again as we build a team below us. So the word team in some instances gets misunderstood because people associate it with MLMs, multi-level marketing companies. And for some reason, people don't like them or they have a bad reputation. But that's all just publicity. So we'll talk about that later as well. So my team at the moment is my business partner, and then people who do specific things for us, like the network that this is broadcast on when it goes to TV. There's a team of people there who do stuff. We also have other marketing teams. We also have teams that provide products and services that we promote, that we get paid for, and they get paid for, and so on. So my 2 hands have now become more hands because I've got assistants. I've got Tennille, who most of you have been in connection with in regards to the channel. I've got Julie, who works with one of the companies whose products we promote. And she's got other people, and Tennille will have other people, and Robert's got other people. We've been working with the technical people to help us get systems set up and so on. And when I say team, I include all those people. Okay, so you have an ability to earn more money than your own 24 hours and your own 2 hands can create for you. That's entrepreneurism. Now the limit to how much you earn has gone, because my 24 hours, as soon as I hired Tennille, became 48 hours, right? Because I'm working with Robert, that becomes 60 something. Not very good at maths, but you see where I'm going here, right? So you, as a business owner, need to get something established that you can do for a number of hours with your 2 hands that you can become expert in, which is your job business. But it would be a really good idea if you could also create an entrepreneurship business that generates residual income for you, right? Now, I work with my clients on this, and I also work with people that aren't my clients through coaching because they're retired or they don't have a business. Maybe they're employed by somebody, but we still look at options for something residual. And you'd be amazed when I started researching this subject at the things that I came up with. I mean, there are the obvious ones that everybody knows about. Have property somewhere and let it so that you earn a rental income. Well, that's great, but who's got the money to do that, right? Or buy franchises. Again, massive amounts of money involved, although a lot less than it used to be. 10 years ago, you needed 100 grand to start a franchise. Nowadays, because so much more is done online, you can do it for 10 grand, but you still need the 10 grand up front. And what you do need for these 2 things, big time, is marketing. So you need a good marketing budget or a good marketing team or both in order to promote a product that is that big. Because you've got a big outlay, you need to make money fast. That means you need to put a lot of money into promoting, because nothing's going to work if you're not promoting, right? So because of the business that we're in, my business partner Robert and I, because we're helping business owners build businesses, we are connected to products that promote businesses. So they're marketing style products that you can use to market your current business, but they also happen to have things attached to them that enable you to generate more income. So I don't only sell my product or my service, because they're basically software products. I don't sell the software products to a client one time and only make the amount of money that I can make dealing with one person, because again, that has a limit. But I have a marketing strategy in place that helps those be promoted elsewhere. And other people who want to promote them can promote them too. And if I introduce those people to the concept, then I support them in their business. So the company pays me to do that. And that's basically what an MLM is, a multi-level marketing company. I know they have a bad reputation. That's because a lot of people who get started in them get enthusiastic. They get involved because somebody told them that they can make an absolute fortune in a very short time by doing no work, which is not true. It's called network marketing, not net lounging around by the pool marketing. So there has to be a certain amount of work done, right? You have to build a network. You need to connect to people. Now, in the old days, I know people who would stand at railway stations with bunches of business cards or hand out free CDs to people who were coming off the train at the end of the day, because that was the only way they could connect to people. Well, nowadays we have the internet. It is easy to connect to people. That's not the right word. It is simple to connect to people. The strategies are very simple. It's not easy because you have to convince yourself to do it. You have to have a strategy in place. You have to have somebody guiding you. And sometimes it's not even easy to get up in the morning, get dressed and go downstairs and sit at your desk, let alone run a business. So easy is not the right word, but it is simple. And if it's simple, that means it can be learnt and it can be applied and it can be done. So let's talk about products. There are, obviously, you're all familiar with them, I'm sure, major companies that are world known that sell products this way through a team of people supporting each other, that everybody's heard of. There's Avon, for example, which does makeup, and I believe now more than that. I know they used to do jewelry when I was younger, because I remember my mum bought Avon products from the mother of a school friend of mine. There was a company called Sarah Coventry that did jewelry as well a long time ago. They probably don't exist anymore. The companies do come and go. If they're a one product company, they sometimes burn out or something else goes wrong. There are, at any given time, I think there are about 3,500 of them in the US alone, and they don't all last forever. So when you come across one that stood the test of time, that's a company that I would recommend getting started with, because they have a reputation, they have a brand. So Avon would be one. Mary Kay would be another one. That they've been around for a long time as well. Mary Kay Ash actually started her company, I don't know, a long time ago. And it's her name, Mary Kay. And again, they started with makeup, but I believe they now do skincare, possibly even health supplements as well. They are branching out because, like any company, growth keeps you there, keeps you alive. Amazon originally was just books. I don't know if you remember this, just books. If you wanted electronics, you went somewhere else. Now, I can't even remember the name of the company that we used to buy electronics from before Amazon took it over, but it grew. And now Amazon is a marketplace where you can sell your own stuff. So if you have written a book or a workbook or created a course of some kind, you've now got a platform that you can sell it on to get your residual income. And there are masses of other platforms as well. And it's not within the scope of the limited time that we've got together today for me to give you all the details. So let me at this point say that if you're on my mailing list, you'll know this already. I am offering a new group coaching program, and I sent the email out about that last Friday as an early Good Friday offer, and that offer comes off the table tomorrow. So if you are watching this now live and you want information about that, then email me or go to the website and send a message. Now, my email address is Andrea@MyHomeBiz.TIPS. Now, in case you're wondering why we write MyHomeBiz.TIPS like that, it's because TIPS is actually an acronym. And since the company's been developed, which was only a few months ago, the acronym's actually been changing. But at the moment, it stands for training, which is the most important thing that we do. We teach people how to run businesses. We have different ways of training them, but that's what it's all about. The TV show is part of that. The I stands for implementation. So we make sure that the people we work with implement the plans that they've come up with while we're working with them, because it's all about strategy. But implementation also relates to something else, because we sell software services, lots of different types of software products that help our businesses build their businesses, right? Because everybody needs a platform of something, even if it's just a website and a landing page or an email platform. You need software, right? So we help with that. And then if the people we're working with, our customers or our clients, find that that's all too expensive, or not too expensive, too complicated, and they don't want to deal with it themselves, we have a team of people that can come in and they can do the implementation for them, right? I'll talk about that a little bit more later on. P, I originally thought stood for products, but it actually stands for partnerships now, because we're working in partnership with so many people. When we interview someone on our TV show, it's like a partnership, and we then connect to each other's audiences and we partner together. And we've actually been working with the people we've interviewed so far on other projects. So partnerships is part of creating a network, right? There are partnerships there. Those partnerships can generate residual income for you as well. For example, if I've interviewed somebody who has something I think is interesting, and I then promote it to somebody who buys it, I get an affiliate commission, right? Like I would do if I put something on Amazon. But if their product is more of a service-based thing, like web design or something like that, then they need to be there to provide the product. It's not something I can sell through my website. An affiliate program comes in. This TV network platform is a partnership as well. Similar kind of thing. So P is for partnerships and S is for services, which includes our software products and our coaching products and the implementation part of looking after those software things that I talked about earlier on. Right, so I've gone over what residual income is. I've actually introduced you to a very abbreviated idea of what multi-level marketing is, to take away this stigma that it has of not being a good thing to do, because you're certainly not riding on the backs of other people's hard work and making a fortune. That just doesn't happen. Everybody gets paid for the work that they do. And you do need to do some work in order to build a team. So we talked about that a little bit. We talked about why MyHomeBiz.TIPS has the name that it has and what that means. If you have any questions, you need any help or any support, just reach out to me at Andrea at MyHomeBiz.TIPS. The website is MyHomeBiz.TIPS. And you will find information there about the people that we've interviewed so far. It links to the gifts that they've given away, and it links to other things that we think that you might find useful, and so on. On the subject of free gifts, let me tell you about my free gift that I'm offering you today, which connects to some of the software that we sell, which actually is extremely seasonal right now. So if you're watching this months later and it isn't coming up to the holiday season, forgive me, at least the holiday season does come up every year. So you'll find this information useful at some point of the year. And it's not only about holidays, it's about other things too. So part of the marketing that we do is to do with connecting to people. And the best way of connecting to people, certainly over the last year where we've been locked down for so many months through the COVID pandemic, which has swept the country. This is 2020. Again, if you're watching this later, then please forgive me, because hopefully the world is different when you're watching this from the way it is now. But what we found, particularly with people who are stuck at home, particularly, again, because they might be older, they might not even be stuck in their own homes, they might be stuck in somebody else's home or a nursing home of some kind and can't receive visitors anymore. We've been looking for ways that we can connect to them in a more real way, bring them something that'll make them happy. And the first business that I went into with my business partner, Robert Rosenthal, who's my business partner in MyHomeBiz.TIPS, was a greeting card company. Now, that might sound not very important to you. And I say that because when he introduced the concept to me, I didn't think it was very important either, because I was thinking that if you were going to connect with people, you did it at networking events, and greeting cards seemed like a bit of a game to me, a bit of a gimmick. But in actual fact, 8 years later now, 8.5 years later, I actually really, really see the benefit of using greeting cards to connect to people. And so do my clients and my customers in the greeting card business. Let me give you an example. We got a puppy earlier this year because, long story, but I wanted my daughter, who's an only child, to have a little bit of companionship at home because she was stuck at home and she's schooled at home. She's still schooled at home. But so we bought a little puppy, and I posted pictures on Facebook, and this is what somebody did. They took a photograph that I'd posted on Facebook of my little puppy, and they put it in a greeting card with a little message. Congratulations, your life will never be the same again. Truer words have never been spoken. That is absolutely exactly what happened. My life has never been the same again. Now, on the back of that greeting card, right, my photo, a few words, is the branding of the person who sent the card. Now, this is my business partner, Robert Rosenthal, right? We have a business called PhD in Follow-Up. Now, this is backwards. I'm so sorry, but you get the point. This is his branding, his photo, okay? That's a greeting card. Now, if you can brand and send an image that belongs to the person in the mail through a greeting card, that's a really cool thing to be able to do. I do it all the time. And then look what happens. I get thank you cards from people saying, you probably can't read that because it's probably backwards, but I'll read it to you. Thank you so much for thinking of me on my birthday and sending such a fun card. I hope you're doing well and finding time to enjoy summer. Lots of love, Julie. Now, here's Julie and her family branded on the back of the card, right? Are you following me here? Right. Here's a card with a message on it, all about success, a message inside, okay? The branding on the back of the person who sent it to me. Somebody sent me a birthday card, right? A picture, my picture from Facebook. a puzzle, a word search puzzle, a little message, her branding on the back, right? I copied that idea. I created a birthday card with a word search. In fact, my daughter and I did the word search together. And I went all out because I made my greeting card much bigger. I'm looking for one here. Okay, it starts like this, happy birthday. And then it has a message to the person with their name and a little message. And that's a picture, which could come from their Facebook page or could come from anywhere else. And here's my word search that my daughter made. And here's another picture. Now, I'm not going to show people's personal pictures that I've taken from their Facebook pages on TV. So I'm using an example that's got random pictures on because I don't always necessarily know who's on Facebook. Now, if you're connected to me already, you've probably had one of these if your birthday has been this year. You've probably already received one of these, and hopefully it had your pictures in. Maybe it didn't, in which case it was because your name was Joe Schmo and there's 5,000 Joe Schmoes and I didn't know which one was you and I just sent you a random picture. If you were a man, I probably didn't send a picture with a flower. I might have just sent, no, that's got personal photos in. That one has two, but I've got some others that have got less personalized pictures or more random pictures. And I make copies of some of them. You see, there's that same flower again and a different happy birthday, right? It just depends where they end up. Here's another birthday cake, but another random happy birthday, okay? When people get these, they tend to keep them, especially if they know who you are and if they've got photos of themselves on the inside or their pets or their children. Now think of the potential that that has to a realtor or somebody who works in a more personalized industry like financing, bookkeeping, wealth creation, mortgages, insurance, car sales, maybe health, acupuncture, weight loss, that kind of thing. Now, our software platform allows you to make these cards online and then send them. So you don't even have to print them or anything like that. On our website, MyHomeBiz.TIPS, there's, if you look on the product section, because P used to be products, you'll find a box that says Happy Mail. And if you go to that Happy Mail box, there's a link that allows you to send a free greeting card on me, right, for the holidays. If you like it, you can then get back to me. You don't have to brand the back of the cards for personal ones. You don't necessarily want your grandmother or your great aunt to have a branded photograph, but you might, especially if you're not able to connect to them, you might want to be able to send them other images. So here's a card that I created for Valentine's Day. And I sent it to my husband with a picture of our daughter. And then on the back, another picture of our daughter, right? So it doesn't have to be branded. You can just put a photograph on the back, or you can inspire somebody. I went to a team meeting with my team. Somebody took a photograph of me and a couple of important team members and sent it with an inspiring message. I'm going to hold it up so you can't see the addresses. Okay, so there's an inspiring message. You can get millions of these all over Facebook. So you don't even have to do that. You don't even have to brand or put a personalized picture. Here's a funny one. This one was sent to me by one of my clients and team members when COVID started. This is his card. Here's the information about his business. Whoops. And on the back, his branding. So that's my free offer for you. Go to MyHomeBiz.TIPS and click on the section about Happy Mail, because this is Happy Mail. You would be amazed at how happy I mean, I've shown you a card somebody sent me to thank me for a card. You know, just go, well, anyway, if you look at my Facebook page, or if you look at my website, you'll see it works. It really works. So I'm offering you the opportunity to try one out for free. It is also a home-based business. So if you are a marketing consultant or a designer or a creative person in any way, or you do graphic design, something like that, this is a really, really good residual income business to add to your repertoire. Is that the right word? To add to your product offering, because you can help people with their marketing. Then you can introduce them to the product. They can send a free card, which I'll pay for if you can't. And I will then support them in growing their business using the greeting cards, or we can do it together. Okay. I'm here because I'm a coach anyway. I do a lot more hands-on background helping and supporting than some people in the MLM industry. And then if you have someone that you know who is interested in a residual income business, again, this is a good opportunity to give them, to promote to them, right? So this is a really good, I've been doing it for 8.5 years. It has helped financially. It has brought me to other things. It has increased my network for me, and it has enabled a lot of people that I know to create a residual income business from home that they've just added to the other businesses that they're doing because it's residual and their other businesses aren't. For example, if you're in Mary Kay or Avon, which I mentioned earlier on, it's lovely to be able to send birthday cards to your team. In some of those businesses, they tell you when the birthday is, but they don't give you something that's permanent that you can put in somebody's hands. It's not appreciation that they can touch. What about if they bring in a customer? What about if they promote to a higher level within their company? You can have these set up to run automatically. Anyway, this isn't supposed to be about promoting this one product. It's about talking about other things. Now, something else that we do are digital business cards. I can't show you a digital business card on screen. Actually, having said that, I think maybe I can. So I'm going to go to my phone and I'm going to click on the app that creates the business card. And I'm going to preview a card that I created recently, which is here, which is about something, another one of the businesses that I'm working with my business partner. Now, you can see there that it has my branding. You can see that it also has what looks like a video because it's got a little triangle in there. And that's actually a video that's on YouTube. Then it has some writing. Then it has some links. Now these links can go to other videos, or they can go to documents, or they can go to URLs, landing pages. Those are linked to the pages that belong to the branding. Then there's a photograph. These links are actually linked to me. So if you click, you'll be able to call me. And if you save the information to your phone, you have my information in your phone. This link will always have something on it that's updated, right? It will always have, if that video up at the top becomes out of date and I change it and you click on the link, you'll see the updated information. Now, I can also include something called a lead capture page with that, which means that when you look at it at the bottom, it has, how can I help you? You know, what can I do for you? It's a great way of collecting email addresses to add to your email list, because of course, if you're a business owner, one of the best ways to promote your business and to stay in touch with people and expand your network is to use email marketing. Not that that's the only thing, just like greeting cards aren't the only thing, and just like digital business cards aren't the only thing, but when you're using them together, they enhance your marketing. And when your marketing is enhanced, your business grows. That's all there is to it. I didn't make the rules. I just learnt how to make them work for me. Oh, that's a good one. I'll try and remember that one. I didn't make the rules. I just learned how to make them work for me. And that's what I teach people as well, whether they're in my team, in my main business, whether they're in my team, in my multi-level marketing companies, whether they're affiliates with me in a company, whether they're clients who pay me for my time. These people who work with me all learn, or whether they're watching my TV show. There you go. So there's digital business cards. Now, again, digital business cards are available. I can't remember what I called the link. I think I just called it digital business cards, and it right next door to the one that says Happy Mail. And these are like mini websites, and they're very, very powerful. And the other thing that you can do with them, which is absolutely awesome, is set yourself a reminder. So say I meet you at a cocktail party or at a networking event or online somehow at an event, and we swap information and I send you one of these. I can send myself a reminder to follow up with you in 2 days, 3 days, 2 weeks, 3 months, or whatever it is that I think is appropriate. That's awesome, because I then get an email that says, oh, you were going to call Joe to find out whether he's watched the video that you sent him, whatever it is. A lot of health practitioners use these who are promoting products because there's a lot of video connected with that. If you remember earlier on, I was talking about the people that used to go to the railway stations or the, at the end of the day and hand business cards out to the people who got off the train just in case they were looking for another work opportunity. Right. They would then send them a video of some kind. That video turned into, as the years went by, that video turned into a CD, and then it turned into a web page where they would link to YouTube and they could watch a video. So this is how we're doing that. This is like a mini website. So if you don't have a website, or if your website isn't personal to you, because one of the things that the companies might not tell you, but I will tell you, is that when you sell a product, you must brand yourself. Okay. More on that at some other point, but you brand yourself. So we have MyHomeBiz.TIPS. We also have PhD in follow-up, which was to do mostly with follow-up, which came from something else. So have your own branding as well as the company. So if I go to Macy's store, I can buy things there from all sorts of different designers, but I don't brand, the store isn't branded based on the designers whose products they sell, right? It's not branded on the fact that you can buy Adidas trainers in the sports department. Sorry, Adidas, I can't remember what they're called in America. Anyway, sports shoes in the sports department. That's not what you name your shop on, okay? Saks and Bloomingdale's and Macy's didn't do that. Nor did Vons, the supermarket. Vons doesn't sell you stuff based on the fact that they've got real Quaker oats by the Quaker company or real Martinelli apple juice by the Martinelli company, okay? They have everything. So because I have several things, I need my own branding. So that's where MyHomeBiz.TIPS came from. So you brand yourself as well as your product. You don't necessarily want to use the company website for everything. So having a little product like our digital business cards gives you kind of like your own mini website, which can be changed, and you can have 10 of them. And I mean, you can have more of them, but you get 10 of them with the basic subscription, and it's really, really cost effective. So that's another one of the businesses. And I don't put my name on something just so that I can get somebody to sign up for it to make money. That's not my aim in life. It's actually a bit of a problem because I've worked often long, hard hours for somebody, not for enough money, because my aim was to help them. That took me a while to realize. And I'm finding it with my clients as well. A lot of people want to serve and want to help people, and then they find that they're not actually making the money that they need as well. So don't think that I promote this stuff because I'm trying to make a quick buck, because first of all, it isn't quick. And secondly, there's no major bucks in it unless you devote your entire life to just doing that, which I don't want to do. But a residual income can be a residual income is very helpful, essential, I would say, if you're running a business. But a residual income can also be significant. And we'll get onto that a little bit more later. I just said something about, hang on a sec, I've got to take a sip of water. I'm getting thirsty. When I'm interviewing someone, I get a chance to stop talking. When it's just me, I don't get a chance to stop talking. So excuse me, please. Okay, the trendy jam jar. Right. Residual income can be significant. But it doesn't matter if each individual thing of residual income isn't on its own massive. The point is to cover your bases. Now, I learned years ago that anybody should have at least 5 income streams. Five income streams. That sounds insane. And a minimally 3 of them should be active at any given time, right? Now, when I first heard that, I was working for somebody, and it didn't seem possible that that would be something that I could achieve. And that's when I started looking at the possibilities of trading and maybe buying shares in something or having a second property that would generate an income for me, right? So even as an employee, there were other things. Now, if I'd known in those days that you can actually buy a vending machine and earn residual income from that, I might have possibly looked at that. Had I known that there were opportunities where you can group fund loans, I'm not talking about GoFundMe. I'm not talking about things like Indiegogo and Kickstarter where you can put a product online and get funded. I'm talking about companies like, I think there's one called the Lending Tree, where people who can't get loans anywhere else can get a loan. Those loans are funded by private individuals. I don't know whether you realize this, and I'm sure there are other companies that do that, and you can go and look it up. But those people put some of their own money aside, and they then lend it to people who get charged interest. Now, in an organization like that, firstly, because they're dealing mostly with people whose credit ratings are low, therefore they're charging higher interest. They are also dealing with members of the public who are lending the money and they want a decent return. So again, the interest rates are slightly higher than they would be elsewhere. Now, there's a risk involved with that. There's always a risk involved with everything. And I know there are websites out there that will give you all sorts of horror stories about the things that went wrong when somebody invested money in things like this. There always are. There are horror stories about people getting into a car and having an accident. But you don't think about the potential of having an accident every single time you get into your car, do you? And there are far more car journeys done or plane rides done that don't end up in disaster in exactly the same way as there are way more people who decide to run a business from home or get married or have children or move house or join an MLM or an affiliate marketing company that do those things successfully than there are things that go wrong. So yes, there's an amount of risk, but if you're sensible with your risk, you can still make these things work. So there's using your own money to fund other people's loans. And there are lots of different places where you can do that. There's also doing things like Kickstarter or GoFundMe's, but that's more, that isn't going to make you money. That's just a nice thing to be able to do later on. But you can certainly find businesses that you might want to partner with in a sort of Shark Tank kind of way on places like that. So if you've got a lot of money to spend, then that's a good thing to do. And that, by the way, is why I actually do this in my business. I don't want to make just enough for me to be comfortable. I want to make more than enough for me to be comfortable so that I can employ other people and they can be over comfortable, and I can give money to deserving organizations that will do something useful with it that will help the community, right? So I'm not in it to make a few $100,000 a year. I'm in it to make millions. My husband has been working with drug rehabilitation for decades, and he's helped predominantly the indigenous people here, predominantly in the northern states and in Canada, build detoxification centers and get themselves a better standard of living. And that's something that is really close to his heart that he wants to do throughout the US, well, throughout the world, actually. So that's what drives me in my business. And a little hack, actually, you might look for a really big goal for your business to keep you motivated on days when it gets tough. Because I know there are days when it gets tough. I know there are way more days that it isn't tough, but on the days that it is tough, when you've got a star high goal to achieve, then that somehow is more inspiring than, oh my gosh, I've got to pay the electric bill, so I've got to make another $100 this week, which can be a little bit introverting and can keep you small. So get a really star high goal. Anyway, going back to the trading thing, there's also trading, which can be done. And I very recently heard about an MLM company that does trading. They teach you to trade yourself. And they also, it's also an MLM. So if you get other people interested in the trading idea, they can trade. But I believe that you don't actually have to trade in order to be able to promote the platform. Now, someone I knew have known for some time is working with that at the moment. And she's recently started working with me. That's created another partnership. And I'm hoping to introduce her to you one day as well. So if you're not running a business, but you'd like some way of introducing a residual income, or if you can't think of something that works with the business you're in, there's another opportunity. Trading, which is actually very rewarding, or can be very rewarding. And it's a great skill. And once it's a skill you've learned, it gives you control. All the things that I'm trying to do and I'm trying to teach are about having control over your financial future, basically creating your own economy, which is why 5 is a good number, because if you lose 1, you've still got 4. If you lose 2, you've still got 3. You don't want to lose more than 2. If 2 disappear, replace them as fast as possible. And if you're a family unit, those 5 can be combined. It doesn't have to be each individual has 5. It can be a combined thing. So if you go to our website, MyHomeBiz.TIPS, you'll find the Happy Mail. You'll find the digital business cards. Eventually, you will also probably find something about trading. You'll also find something about this TV channel and how that works, because if I promote the idea of a TV channel to somebody else and they decide to go ahead with it, there's an affiliate program attached to that. That's on the channel as well. But there's another thing which is ever so exciting that's on the channel now, and that is on passive. And I can't say very much about on passive because I don't know very much about on passive, but on passive is going to change lives. It is a complete digital platform of every tool that you will need to run a business, right from registering your website to building a website, or registering your domain name rather, to building a website, to creating funnels and landing pages, doing email marketing, having Zoom calls, having a system that allows you to teach in some way. So there's an education platform, whether you're a coach that's got a little itty bitty course to sell, or whether you're a massive university that has thousands of students, maybe on a global basis to teach, there is an education platform. There's also a social media platform involved in it as well. There's also security for websites. There's also payment platforms. There's an e-commerce platform. There's also something where you can pay contractors or team members using a debit card system, so that you can put the money on a debit card that they then have that they can go and spend somewhere, which is common in, you know, places like Uber and Lyft are doing that as well. And so are a lot of the affiliate and network marketing companies. That's all there. And it is a platform that has the purpose to help impoverished communities. There are a lot of them who have become founder members of this organization, and they are because they will be able to generate an income from it, because it is based on a multi-level platform or a multi-level system. At the moment, the company is looking for founding members, right? So the idea is that you put a small investment into the company. At some point, that will pay back. You'll get dividends just the same way as you would if you were investing in any other company, if you were buying stocks or shares in any other company on the stock exchange, or trading shares in any way. It works the same way. The money that's put in is then used for the developers and the programmers to create the software that is then sold to customers. Now, when that's sold to customers, it's going to be using an artificial intelligence platform that the company owns, which will promote it so that as a founder member, you don't need to be involved in the activity of promoting the product, but you will earn a commission on all the customers that are brought into the company. Again, that's exactly the same kind of thing that happens when the sharks invest money. They don't invest money for fun. They invest money so that they get something back. Well, this is the same. It's called On Passive. It's also on our website. And it's, at the moment, they're looking for funding still. So they're still in the funding phase. So for a small amount of money, you can dive in and become a founding member. And as a founding member, you then get access to all the information about what's coming next and the details about the product and so on. But if you're a small business owner as well, or even a big business owner, you need these products anyway. And wouldn't it be lovely to have everything in exactly the same place? So you don't have to create zaps using Zapier to connect everything together. It's all in one place. So you just log into one thing and you can make changes to your website. You can send out emails. You can pay people. You can do all that stuff all from one base. I'm really looking forward to that. Good cost, actually, really good prices, stunningly low prices, actually, and an amazing opportunity to potentially create a residual income. Okay, so we've got what is residual income, what's it about? We've got different ideas that you could do. We've got using really clever marketing tools for your business, like greeting cards or digital business cards, incorporating video into that, sending things out to people using the digital business cards. We've then got an entire digital platform that every business owner will want to use, and the TV show as well. They're all on our website. And we talked a little bit about things that I'm not directly involved in yet, but we probably will be soon and will be bringing to you as well. So we've got 5 minutes left. And I was just wondering whether we've got any comments or questions at all. I'm asking our producers here whether anything's come through in any of the live platforms like Facebook. Okay, hang on a second. Let me look at my phone. Okay, yes, here's something. Okay. I have put everything that I'm working on at the moment in my website. When you buy a product or a service through me, you also get a certain amount of coaching. right? But there are people who don't want my products or don't know about them yet, who need coaching anyway and come to me for coaching anyway. And that's also on the website. And that's the Black Friday offer that I said that I'd emailed everybody. And if you're interested in what that is, you've got until tomorrow night to, because my Black Friday started last Friday. So you've got till tomorrow night to jump on to the special Black Friday offer for my group coaching program. And if you email me at Andrea@MyHomeBiz.TIPS, it's Andrea@MyHomeBiz.TIPS, it's on the screen now. If you email me there, I will send you the information for that so that you've got the link to sign up. The products and the services that I was talking about this afternoon or this morning, the greeting cards and the digital business cards, the TV show, and even the On Passive platform, which is coming very, very soon. So if you're worried about how to pay your credit card bills for the holiday season come January, this will be launching, I'm sure, in January, and we'll be able to help you do that. That's all on the website. But if you email me with any questions, then I'll be able to answer them. So if there's nothing else, no? Okay, very good. Apparently everything's handled, everything's sorted. I've given you as much information as I can for now. Any of the things that I've talked about, if you want more detail, then email me and we'll take programs and dive down into them. We can do that on the TV, or maybe we can do that through webinars. Maybe that's a more appropriate platform. The television show is really more about introducing you to things. When we deep dive with things, then we'll do that via webinar, or maybe just we'll do a Facebook Live that doesn't necessarily stream to the channel. We'll put all the information for that on the website. We're updating the website as often as we can, and we do regular emails. So do subscribe to our emails because they are loaded with useful tips and ideas and introductions to people who I think will be able to help and inspire you in some way. So that's it for today. I'm going to say cheerio, wish you all a lovely day, and I look forward to seeing you here next week, where we'll be interviewing somebody amazing about something glorious. So take care and have fun, and happy Thanksgiving.